Hi, I'm Brad Mickley, CEO of Jozu. We provide secure packaging, policy control, and deployment integrity for self-hosted AI and ML. If you're deploying AI agents and models in your organization, you already have a security problem. You just might not see it yet. In September 2025, a compromised Postmark MCP server silently forwarded every email processed by an agent to an attacker. Users didn't realize it was happening, and there was no log trail. That same month, a poisoned NPM package called Shai-Hulud used agentic workflows to expose SSH keys and API tokens at massive scale. These are just two in a series of documented attacks, and they target the parts of your AI stack that existing security tools don't cover. Most organizations have mature supply chain security for application code and containers. Both are scanned with tools like Trivy or Snake, and images are signed and verified before they're deployed. But AI introduces a different class of artifacts: models, agents, MCP servers, datasets, prompt skills. None of your code or container security tools can understand these. There's no scanning, no signing, no policy enforcement, no provenance tracking for the AI artifacts running in your environment. Experts consider AI supply chain a top 5 risk for organizations rolling out AI. That's the gap Jozu fills. Jozu is an AI assurance platform with 2 connected products. Jozu Hub is your AI project registry and control plane. It stores, scans, signs, and governs AI artifacts. It installs into any Kubernetes distribution, including air-gapped environments. Jozu Agent Guard is the secure and isolated runtime where MCP servers, models, and agents run safely. It enforces policy on every artifact load, tool call, and prompt exchange. Jozu's policy engine has no dependencies, so if your agent is running, our policies are running. It works on desktops, servers, edge devices, and Kubernetes. Jozu's status dashboard gives you a single view of your AI artifacts in production: what's deployed, what has security issues, and what has license problems. Jozu AI packages have a digest, a cryptographic hash that matches exactly what was tested in development, so you can always trace back changes to their origin. If anyone modified the artifact in transit, whether accidentally or deliberately, the hash wouldn't match and the package would be quarantined. Now let's look at a specific AI project. When it was pushed to the registry, Jozu ran it through 5 integrated security scanners that check for serialization exploits, injection patterns, backdoor detection, privacy leakage, data poisoning, and more. This works seamlessly with your existing code and container scanning, but finds vulnerabilities they miss. Now, the scan results aren't just shown in a report, they're signed attestations attached to the artifact itself. When this artifact is pulled into a disconnected environment or anywhere, the scan travels with it. The target environment can verify security status without having to call back to the hub. Now, here's something you won't find anywhere else. This is a side-by-side diff of 2 versions of the same ModelKit. You can see what changed between versions in terms of weights, configurations, dependencies, training data, anything. And this isn't metadata comparison, this is artifact level diffing, and we'll be expanding this over time to get even more granularity. This matters for your critical deployment pipelines. You can write policies that block deployment if a project has had critical vulnerabilities, or require re-review if dependencies have shifted or data has changed. Every action in the system is captured in a cryptographically chained audit log. Personnel changes, access changes, security scan results, deployments. For teams that are currently struggling to gather audit evidence manually, this replaces and simplifies that process entirely. Jozu Hub is your central registry and control plane. It's where teams go to get approved models, agents, and MCP servers. Everything is security scanned, policies are attached, and audit logs are captured. This is supply chain security for AI, and it tells you your artifacts are safe to deploy and use. But agents don't just sit there. They invoke tools, access data, interact with systems, and make decisions. Agent Guard governs all of that at runtime. Other tools in this space, Lasso, Solo.io, IBM, they build enforcement around a centralized architecture. Lasso sends every request to the cloud API for guardrail evaluation. Solo and IBM require Kubernetes cluster. And when that central dependency is unavailable, you're forced to choose. You can fail open and create a security gap, or fail closed and cause an outage. Jozu eliminates this trade-off. The policy engine runs inside the secure runtime alongside the agent. As long as the agent is running, its policies are running with it. There are no remote calls, no timeouts, no fallback behavior to configure. And none of these competitors do anything before deployment. They govern what agents do at runtime, but they don't verify that the agent is what it says before it runs. When Agent Guard pulls an agent for deployment, it pulls the associated policies at the same time. Both are SHA verified. Enforcement happens locally on the device with no runtime dependency on Hub. If the network goes down, governance continues. For teams operating in environments where connectivity is denied, disrupted, intermittent, or limited, this is the only architecture that works. Another capability that directly impacts deployment velocity are Jozu's rapid inference containers. Most teams build inference containers manually, pulling a base image, installing dependencies, copying model weights, configuring the serving layer. It is slow, it is error-prone, and you end up with a large number of complex containers that all need to be security scanned all the time. Jozu automates this. You specify your organization's secured base image. In this case, I've chosen VLLM. Point them in a ModelKit. In this case, I'm using Mistral 7B. And Hub generates a deployment-ready container on demand with the latest secure runtime and secure ModelKit. That's what you see here. This single command tells Jozu Hub to pull this model with this base container and this tag. I can add container types. I can change to use a Kubernetes YAML or a Docker command at will. Deployments that used to take hours can happen in minutes. In fact, rapid inference containers are optimized for the fastest possible deployment time, sometimes even 7 times faster than a standard container. Let's come back to those attacks we looked at earlier, because now you can see how Jozu would have stopped each one. Security scanning and provenance block tampered with MCP servers, models, and agents before you deploy them, while runtime policies controlling tool calls, prompts, and data movement stop agents from making destructive changes or exfiltrating your data. Remember, this isn't only about protecting you from attacks. Even normal agentic workflows can go rogue and cause damage while trying to complete an otherwise harmless task. Everything in Jozu is built on open, vendor-neutral standards. The packaging format is KitOps, a CNCF project with over 235,000 downloads. KitOps and also the reference implementation for the CNCF model pack specification, with contributions from Red Hat, PayPal, Ant Group, and ByteDance. Artifacts are OCI compliant, signatures use cosign, policies use CEL, the same expression language used in Kubernetes. Jozu's technology is a standard used by organizations including U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs, Pacific Northwest National Lab, DSV, and many others around the globe. Jozu is also TradeWinds awardable through the DoD Chief Digital and AI Office, enabling direct procurement by defense agencies. We run 2-week technical evaluations. You install Hub in your Kubernetes cluster, deploy Agent Guard to the devices where your agents run, and integrate with your existing pipelines. Hub is priced per server. Agent Guard is priced per device. There are no per model or per user charges. Talk to our team at info@jozu.com to discuss your security and AI requirements and set up an evaluation. Thank you.